Mirror. What? Oh, right. So, hi. Um, it's been a while since I filmed because things have been going on my end and I'm a little busy, but still an update is probably due. So, I have that doily. Yeah. So the big doily, I finally finished it. I know it's been a while. So this is the big one. It's pretty big. I don't. Did I show this in the last video? I don't think I did. But I finished it anyways, and it's really nice. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I thought about getting a frame to put this in, but then I thought that'd be kind of a waste because it's just so big. But I also want to put things on it, so I'm right now debating what I should do with this doily specifically. Maybe I will. I don't know. I suppose I could just leave it here for now. It's not gonna get any damage as long as I keep it safe in a certain way and I properly take care of it. It should be fine. So I think for now, I think I'm just gonna. I think for now it's just going to sit still and keep safe, I suppose. So that's the doily. And other lace projects I've been working on. So with lace crochet, I've been working on a shawl, I guess, another one. What would I call it? I guess I'd call it a scarf. I know I sounded like a demon for a second. But yeah, I'm making another lace. It's not a doily, so that's new. Usually up until now, I think most of my designs have been for doilies. Very few were for shawls, or they were scarves or shawls that were doilies put together. I think I showed you that. It's in the video titled That New Lace. It should be at least. You can find it in that video where I made that really nice lace shawl. That one was, as you can probably tell, anybody who has understanding of how doilies are and how you can connect doilies together, that's made of doilies. But the one I'm making right now is a pure shawl, because it's a flat line and it goes like this as I crochet. And if you go like this and you crochet out, it'll be not this skinny, but an image. It'll be a wide, or maybe a band of lace. Not all dense, but it will be pretty light. I think it will be diaphanous. That's a good word. It'll be very diaphanous and it'll be, I think I spit. It'll be very light, I think, for summer or maybe spring, but you'd have to style it, right? Speaking of style, I think there's just going to be, it's not even I think, there is. It's concluded. This is known information by now. But there's going to be an eternal fight between me, an actual minimalism fan, and people who don't understand it but think whatever. Where's my phone? I can go get my phone. I won't show you, but I'll talk to you about it. I need to look at it. Where's my phone? I found it. Okay. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's very sad I have to report this to everyone. But it's very sad. It's actually really miserable. What am I looking for? One second. So when you go to Insta and you type in, I see it in my last searches, you type in minimalism art, right? And you see all this. What in the actual. See, some of them are actually honest and they're proper. With if you have a square frame or square canvas and you have lines running up and down and they're all at right angles and they're parallel, that's based on, that's pretty close to the actual minimalism. But then you have all this other stuff with it's just horrible. There's all these abstract art is not the same thing as minimalism art. Minimalism art is a part of abstract, but it's not abstract as part of minimalism. So you can't just take a red circle. What is this? It's not even a red circle. It's stenciling your portrait of a people. That's not, the moment you start drawing people, you are no longer part of, well, I guess you're part of abstract, but you're not part of minimalism. And what on earth? I can't really say, but it's portraits of people is put on, there's a hashtag that says, oh, no, it's not a hashtag. I don't know how it's in this. Maybe it's not even supposed to be here, but someone put it here by accident, or the artist didn't mean it, but someone else was not very intelligent or not educated enough about art to just throw it in as minimalism art. Okay, splatter paint is not minimalism. That is expressionism, okay? It's actually abstract expressionism. It's a very specific type of art. That is not... Oh my goodness. Well, this one's a business, so... You know, they're just trying to get attention, so of course they're just going to make mistakes left and right. But it's really infuriating. What is this? Circles? Circles are not really minimalism art either. Well, it's a very... It's not this, I'll tell you that. Yeah, this is... That's what I wanted to talk about. I won't show you because I don't want you to actually know the exact account, but if you just type in minimalism art on, or into Insta, you'll see all this stuff that has nothing to do with it. And the rest of us are just supposed to sit back and say, ah. It's really disrespectful. I get the impression, I think I said this in my last video, but it's the same thing as when people say, it's the same thing where people think that they belong in a space that they don't. It really is that the minimalism slumber party is invite only. And I'll give you a good example. When I was in elementary school, I remember one of my elementary schools that I went to, I got on the school bus every morning, and there was assigned seating for all the kids below 3rd grade, but I think past the 5th row, all the other grades can sit whatever, because I think the bus drivers, as well as the school, figured out, yeah, these kids can probably handle themselves and sort themselves out. But from 3rd grade and below, it was 1st graders are in this row and whatever we think is good. So it really sucked because in my seat, one of those long seats, there was 3 of us. There was me and 2 other boys, and one of them was fine and one of them wasn't. I won't give the exact name, I'll just take their initials and use something else. One of them was T, so we can just say Thomas the Train. The other one started with an M, and that was, we'll just say mulberry pie. Not mulberry pie. What children's what children's cartoon starts with an M? Oh, I know. It's the Mr. Tickles. That's good. Okay. So on one side, over here I have Thomas the Train, and over here I have Mr. Tickles. I got along great with Mr. Tickles. I'll tell you that right now. And there was no fights between me and Mr. Tickles. We got along really nicely. And we talked about cartoons. We talked about board games and video games. No, that was a little less. And we talked about school. And we talked about teachers. And then we thought about, hey, you want to hang out because we're actually in the same neighborhood. But then over here, Thomas the Train, we didn't really like him at all. Thomas the Train is not popular in the 3-aisle seat. or 3-seater. He is not popular, okay? And he just kept butting into our conversation, and he said, and he didn't even live in our same neighborhood. At that time, I lived in a moderately, kind of like a suburbs, I guess. He lived in this, Thomas the Train, he pulled home choo choo every night to the deluxe suburbs. Okay, I'll tell you right, his family was really rich. And it's very interesting, when you're in a school bus, you get to see where everyone else lives, which is kind of creepy. But you also get to see the neighborhoods, and some neighborhoods were a little sad. Other ones were great. But, what was I saying? I heard something weird. But this kid, Thomas the Train, he lived in a really, really rich neighborhood. I'm talking, all the outer walls of these houses were made of red bricks. That's how rich he was. And the driveways could fit 7 cars, at least. That's at least. And then there was, at least could fit 7. And most of the houses had at least 3 cars parked in the driveway. So that means one family has 3 cars. And they weren't, now that I still have the memory so I can tell, these weren't secondhand cars, mind you. They were real fresh cars, like hot pie off the factory line cars. They were that kind of cars, and they were GMCs and BMWs, and I think I even saw, because now that I know what the logos are, I think there was one with the angel going like this. I think that's a Rolls Royce. I don't know. It's an expensive one. All I know is that he came from that neighborhood, so. And I guess there's nothing wrong with coming from that neighborhood, but we weren't in the same neighborhood, so we didn't know each other. But he said, why aren't you inviting me to hang out? And we said, well, we don't really want to. And then he screamed, and because we were first graders at that time, the bus driver said, what's going on? And then Thomas the Train would say, Cetus AE and Mr. Tickles are not inviting me to the sleepover or the hangout time. And then the bus driver would say, all right, you 3, get along, because, you know, he probably can't take a side. But it's really annoying because if the 2 of us are having fun, why on earth do you have to come into that? Why on earth do you have to put yourself into that? Sometimes people nowadays, I think, do not understand that in some spaces they do not belong there. And that's not to create what's the Romans did it, divide and conquer. This is beyond that. This is where you fundamentally do not belong here. It has nothing to do with characteristic. It's when, or physical features or whatever, any of that stuff. It has to do with just the fact that sometimes you're not invited to things. And some things you have to be invited to in order to attend. And friendships between me and Mr. Tickles, that was a really good friendship. And I don't think we ever did hang out. It was just all conversation, but it showed that we really got along and we enjoyed spending time together. And then all of a sudden, Thomas the Train decides to bombard his way in. Well, now you know, it's just, I don't know if it's just my generation or plus to the 2 generations that are coming and then previous 2 generations, but many people, I think it's gotten worse probably, especially in my generation, because every single school I went to, my grade always caused some kind of issue that I was never a part of. I wasn't, well, I guess I was a pretty good student academically, but I didn't cause issues. All the issues that got called together where all the kids had to show up and parents had to show up, I didn't have anything to do with that. And the teachers on the side would gather the parents who had kids who had nothing to do. They would say, okay, you guys actually have nothing to do with it, but we have to still tell you that there's this issue. It's ridiculous. That's enough negativity. What else am I working on? Okay, so I still have school, so I have things I have to do, but I have these strips that I bought. I think it's £10 worth I bought. It was a sale price. I got it from my brain's not working. I got it, and then it's really nice. It's wool. These strips of wool. And right now I'm working on taking black cotton thread. I know you're not supposed to probably mix cotton and wool, but I don't generally care. I actually really like mixing cotton and wool because it creates an interesting texture. It'll probably be really hard to dry and wash, but I don't care about that right now. And I can handle that. So these strips, the sides are all frayed, so what I'm working on right now is I'm taking those frayed ends, I have a piece right here, and I'm this one I cut up a little, so it's because I'm going to use it in a certain way. I take black thread, and should I put in sunlight? I'll just show it here. And I put the thread through like this, so that, excuse me, I burped the camera. That might be the first ever. Well, don't turn that into a meme. Well, do whatever. Memes forever. This is, see? Yeah. I'm working on that for now. And those are the, well, yeah. Besides this one lace crochet, that's the only things I'm working on right now. But I think they'll turn out fine. But there's the perpetual battle between me and the minimalism fakers. I can't even look. Instagram has a lot of cool art people, but I can't even look at them right now because I'm pretty certain to an extent that I'm going to see some of the fake minimalism artists and they'll put hashtag minimalism art. If they had just put minimalism as a hashtag, maybe I would be able to dismiss it as, okay, maybe they're mixed up. But the moment they put minimalism art next to a piece of art, it's artistic. It's what I'm looking at right now is paintings and sculptures and woven stuff or things that are made. It's not architecture. If it was architecture, it's a whole different conversation. But the moment you get into the world of art and you start talking about minimalism and then you start not doing minimalism, I am going to be very enraged. And it turns out there are a lot of people out there who really appreciate genuine minimalism, and we do not appreciate you destroying it. It's really annoying. It's Thomas the Train is not that fun. No. It's just Mr. Tickles. Mr. Tickles is fine. I'll hang out with Mr. Tickles and my cat. Mr. Tickles. I don't want to hang out with Thomas the Trains. All you Thomas the Trains out there, you may get on your tracks and go home. You are not invited to the minimalism invite-only slumber party. It's not fun to have you there. Again, some people just don't know that they don't belong at certain places. It's really annoying. And it'd be great if they figured that out, but I guess I have to tell them that. But yeah, that's all for now. How much? 17 minutes, that's a really long video. Alright, so that's all. I'll show you the projects when I'm done. But I really like this lace. I'll show you again. Really like it. And I'm probably gonna make something else with this design. I don't know if I'll make another scarf, but this design, I'm thinking of making it one of my classics, classic Cetus AE doily designs. But I'll think about it. But that's all for now. All right. I'll see. Oh, my hair's a little. Was it like that the whole time? Oh no. Well, I don't care. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Watch out for the people who invite themselves to the minimalism slumber party. I'm shaking the camera. All right. So be careful. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.